Texas getting hit with more rain this weekend. Hill country under a flood watch again, making the already difficult recovery even more challenging. 129 people have been killed, including dozens of children. More than 160 remain missing. The question of who's at fault inevitably comes after every tragedy, and while we might never be able to answer that question fully, we wanted to talk with someone who knows the Hill Country and its weather better than almost anybody. Joining us now is Rich Siegel. He started covering the region way back in 1994, and he's a meteorologist for affiliate KXAN, and he knows what he's talking about. Rich, thanks so much for making time for us in a busy time. Lay out for us what happened. How aberrant is this? I heard people say it's a 500-year flood, it's a 1,000-year flood. How aberrant was this event?
Well, you know, we don't expect these so much in July as we do in other times of the year, because this is not our wettest time of the year. July is typically the second driest month here in Central Texas with just 1.96 inches of rain. But sometimes when you get a tropical system like we had with former Tropical Storm Barry that lifts northwestward, and you have an area of low pressure like we had that just sits on top of an area for a long period of time, plus you get the hilly terrain of the Hill Country. The Hill Country is known for flooding because it's got limestone, which is like brick, so to speak. And sometimes the water does not absorb very well. And when you get these showers and thunderstorms that will sit on an area for a long period of time, that water has nowhere to go. So it runs off into the rivers, the creek beds, the lakes, the streams, and causes the flash flooding that we have seen, a lot like we are seeing here again this morning. We've had showers and storms overnight that continue into this morning. Okay,
so we do politics in Washington, you do weather in real life in Texas, but there is a lot of finger pointing and people blaming FEMA, and people are blaming the state, and people are blaming the county, and some of that is just politics, just pure politics, no doubt. But what do people there say? What do the people in the affected area, the people who are grieving, the people who are struggling with this, do they care about that stuff? What do they care about?
You know, that's a hard question to answer. Some people do, some people don't. I think some people want answers, and they don't want to wait for the answers to happen. They want the answers now. And as a couple of people on KXAN's investigative team has said, the time to ask questions is not later. The time to ask questions is now. Why did this happen? Why wasn't there a proper warning system in place along the Guadalupe River in Kerrville? Why was there no siren? You know, by contrast, there's a section of the Guadalupe River southeast of Austin in a city called Seguin, which does have the siren system, and they test it every Monday so that the people know that it's there. So why wasn't it there in Kerr County and in Bandera County? They do want answers. They deserve answers. They don't want to hear all this glad handing like we saw with President Trump's press conference on Friday. They want to know what was the failure in the system that caused this to happen, and the time to ask questions is today.
Okay, some people have blamed cloud seeding, in which aircraft are used to try to trigger rain in dry areas. And this is remarkable there because even as this section was being inundated in this way, go to the Blanco River not far away, and that was still under drought while this one was being flooded. Is there any truth to the concerns about cloud seeding? Is that any part of this story?
I spoke with an expert in the field. His name is George Bomer. He wrote a book about weather in Texas. It's kind of like the handbook of weather in our state. He told me that, A, they don't seed clouds at night. So that's eliminating factor number one. Number two, what cloud seeding there was going on was suspended on June 30th, which is about 3.5 days before this flood event took place. There wouldn't have been any leftover effect from cloud seedings before the 30th. Third, when there is a potential for flooding in the area, the meteorologists in charge of cloud seeding discontinue all cloud seeding efforts just because of the threat of the potential for flash flooding. So all that said, and with our Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller attesting to this, there was no cloud seeding that was going on at the time the flood happened. This happened because a system sat on top of the area, rained for a long period of time, and that water just ran off from the Guadalupe, or ran off into the Guadalupe and other associated creeks, rivers, and lakes and streams.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.